All right. Happy Health Habits Tribe. Oh, hugs and love to you all.
Yes.
Oh, whether we're well or we're sort of well or we're right, we're here. We don't care. I just got done eating. I probably have parsley in my teeth. It's okay. We
Yeah.
love you. You loved yourself enough to live a healthy lifestyle. So give yourself a little hug and love, a little high five, boop, boop, boop. And don't forget, high five yourself in the mirror, look yourself in the eye and say, you got this every day.
You
And
got.
then what do we do, Betty? We breathe, right?
Yes, I've been breathing all day.
Breathe. Okay, this is a good time. I was reminded the other day, um, my mom started in on something and I just felt my stress going up. You guys ever, like, when someone's talking at you and you feel your own stress kind of rise? Have you ever felt that?
Oh
And
yeah.
in the moment I was like, okay, I started holding my breath, and she was her deal, her issue, but her energy was, I was holding my breath, I was stressing my I went, okay, breathe, right? Because that was her energy was affecting me. So we can get into situations where coherence, other people affect our brain body connection by that energetic, right? Coherence. And so
Yeah.
we can so what we're doing as a group, ladies, is co-regulating. And Kate Northrup and a bunch of other people I follow call it co-regulating. So if we can all get into a space where our brain and bodies are together when we're relaxed, then our energies are affecting us positively and even via Zoom, right? Um, I was reminded about, everyone try this. I was reminded about this exercise. Under stress. Now you can't do this under stress. It's kind of weird, but in the morning, if you're feeling off, do the infinity symbol. Remember
Yeah.
this one? And follow your fingertips really slowly with the infinity symbol. And that will stimulate brain and body coherence and calm you down and breathe, of course, while you're doing it. I love that one because it's super simple. That one's maybe not to do in front of everyone, but keeping yourself calm. That's a good way to remind yourself to stay connected to your body. Has anyone ever done that one outside of this? That was a Jim Quick thing. That's a good coherence one. If you're with people and you need to keep calm, you can do an infinity symbol between your first two fingers. Do your 5 breaths and do infinity symbol, like an infinity symbol between your fingers like this.
Ah.
Okay, that's going to stimulate your brain to, reconnect, and it just kind of makes you focus and makes sense.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Optimists. We are all optimists. We are optimists and we are activists. And we're trying to activate other people to optimism because that's what we've got. We've got a tribe of optimists and we look at habits and not at numbers. I don't know who's on, is Yvonne on? Yeah, Sarah, Yvonne's on today. I told Yvonne, she said, I can't get on the scale. It stresses me out. It scares me. Raise your hand if the scale scares you. Okay.
No.
If you get any stress, it's diet trauma, it's diet PTSD, it's failure PTSD, right? I know Wendy doesn't have this because she never had this problem, but for most of us, that can cause a stress. So it's PTSD. Just give yourself grace, stay off the scale, and breathe. Okay. And we all know you guys, I get you, you get me. We've been there. I mean, I did it the other day. I was telling another one of my clients, one of our friends this morning, that I put on a pair of suit pants on Thursday last week. I was literally almost having a panic attack putting them on because I hadn't had them on in over a year and I was just certain they weren't going to fit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I told this on Sunday. I told this on Sunday. But you guys get me, right? And that's why this community is so powerful because we get each other and we
Yeah.
understand, where we're coming from and we're connected in that way. Working on our macro habits, working on rounding out the circle. And if you're listening to the recording and you haven't before, we're all a work in progress and it all starts with self-love. And then when we master some self-love things like showing up for ourselves, right? Taking that habits finder test is showing up for yourself. It's showing yourself self-love, setting boundaries, right?
Yes.
self-talk, all these things enable us to then go over and start in on those habits of health. And I really feel like you guys got to remember when you're struggling with one of these habits of health on the right, we got to make sure to go back to the left and go, which one of these is missing? Because honestly, and the more I look at my habit finder tests, and Mary, you'll probably say this too, the more I look at these results in detail, the more I really realize, who's got a low, Betty or Yvonne, who's got a low like self-worth score?
I don't remember what my scores are right now.
There was three categories, and there was a low self-worth score. And it all comes down to this whole self-love thing, right?
Yeah.
And that's driving the inability to master the macro habits. So anyways, so we always just kind of go back to what's self-love first, and that will help us to do better in all the other areas. And I'll take this off share for right now, and we'll get going talking about get down to business. But I love this graphic. Did you guys see this on last Monday, or maybe it was the Monday before? I don't know where. I think it was a couple Mondays. This is a lot of support tools, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's a lot of support tools.
Yes.
And now we got the habit finder down there on the left, right? We got our coaching sessions, our once a month forum, our daily book and workbook, and our calls every morning and evening, and then we have our weekly call. And Mary, what did you say you learned on the WIN call today? You said you had they
Oh,
said something about our group. So like 12-step programs, they all have a meeting, right? They have a book and workbook, they have a meeting, right? And then they have their daily do. What did they say today about addiction?
The opposite of addiction is not recovery, it is community.
yes. Yes.
Oh,
That's what I wrote that down.
And
I
that's
wrote that.
awesome. Think about that. 12, like Amy said, 12-step uses Alcoholics Anonymous. Jesus and the disciples all had each other. I mean, absolutely, this is
yeah,
that do not neglect the meeting of yourselves together in whichever way you find it, but
right.
find your community, find your tribe. That is how we keep it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, absolutely. This is our tribe, and we don't have community where we're left to our own selfish desires, and Satan gets in there, right? Right.
Oh, yeah.
It
Oh,
causes
yeah.
that. So anyway, if you don't know how to plug into all these tools, or you haven't, or you're listening to the recording and you're like, what is all this? Okay, it's just a matter of putting it somewhere where you can find it, putting it in your calendar, in your digital, and it's just a matter of figuring out what works best next, right? So we can't we can't expect to digest it all at one time, but what's best next, and then add that in, right? Now, Betty, you're doing the
Yeah.
link, right? So,
I'm doing
so
one at a time, one at a
yep,
time.
we can
And
just
don't, you were just saying the scale. No, mine is a computer, but I'm conquering it. And that's one thing I made a decision last night. I moved to the head of the table instead of all these silly little habits that are controlling me. Moved to the head of the table. And I said, I then you can believe what he says. I get to, I choose to, I want to. And and I just said, you know what? I'm through with this pity party. It's been like everyone's losing weight except me. Everyone, and I'm on all these programs, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing. And I said, just stop. You do what you can do. If it goes through, it goes through. If it doesn't, so what? Next week it will go through. And last night I said, you know what? I choose to follow this program correctly. I choose not to get sidetracked. I choose to obey my command and lose 7 pounds between now and next Wednesday. And I got up this morning and I had lost a pound because you have to. take charge, Betty, take charge. And that's one thing I wrote too. I really like that the addiction is the opposite of community. That really hit me this morning. They were really good. And I wrote down a whole bunch of those sayings that different people said that were great. But
Oh,
no,
text them to me and I'll share them in the
okay, well,
social media. Yeah,
but
'cause-
you have to take charge of yourself. And so it's like, okay, quit. It, it doesn't matter what anyone else does. That's it's not my concern. My
yeah,
concern is to take care of myself and to choose to do it.
yeah.
And
Mel Robbins, I forwarded a little quip that she had on YouTube. It was, no one's coming to save you. You have to get yourself out of bed. You have to do the thing.
yes, you
There
do.
is always some
Amen.
level of pushing yourself, guys, right? No one's coming to save you. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
that's exactly it.
they don't care about you.
Betty, I love that you caught yourself with the stinking thing, I get to instead of I, right, and I choose to. Who's used that now so far? And
Oh,
catch yourself, Wendy, and Tanya has. Yep.
yeah. Ever
Um,
since we got that, I use it every day, and I've got little sticky notes all over the house.
yeah, I put mine in. I haven't gotten it in my car yet, but I have one made. I have one made for my car. I have my bathroom. I have right here, and then I have one waiting to go into my car. But
Yep, I got one there, but yeah.
I catch myself in the morning I have automatic negative thinking ants in my brain every morning, first thing in the morning. I have to, I need to, I should, I didn't, I blah, right? Every morning.
Elephant,
Anyone
elephant,
else like
elephant,
that?
elephant. No.
What's that?
I said elephant, elephant, elephant,
Yeah, I
elephant.
know, right? The ants crawl in the night and they get there. That is my first thought in the morning, automatic negative thinking. And then I catch myself this morning and before I got to bed, because Dave said, before you get out of bed, say, I get to, I want to, I choose to. And do you know that really helps?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Before you put your feet on the floor, I thought, that really works. Why get out of bed if I'm going to go and get up with this in my head? No, I'm going to start. Anyway. Anybody else used it? Anyone else caught themselves who want to share? Sandy, come on down. Share your get to want to. Or Wendy, she was shaking her head. When did
Oh,
you
I
catch?
will. Well, because I'm in this like new phase of my retired life now. So I remind myself that I'm fortunate that I don't have to get out of bed every day and I can choose to do what I want to do. And it's not a bad thing that I'm not going to a job every morning. I'm
Mhm.
doing other things with my time and it's good.
Yay! Round of applause. High five, girl. That's awesome. Yep, that's awesome. You're retired and you get to do what you want to do today. How wonderful is that?
Well,
And
and then I also catch myself because it's winter and my thoughts are darker in the winter. They just always go that way. It's cold. We don't want to get out. We don't want to be as active. And
every
even,
single day I've seen a post about how cold it is, Wendy. Maybe you could post about flowers.
well, today it's almost 30 now. We're getting up there. We're back in the clear. It's shorts weather now. Yeah, but
Yeah.
no, but it's like I have to give myself space that yeah, it's winter and I know I always go in a darker place in the winter and it's just kind of how it goes and I just catch myself.
Keep catching yourself. Get your sad light, girls. If you got that, if you kind of caught the
Well, I
winter.
have an art light that's my halo. It's like my art light that's always over my head.
Good. Anyone else have winter bluesies like Wendy? No? Okay. Yeah. Full spectrum light bulbs are good. Thank Wendy, you're doing great. Try posting about something else.
I like to tease the people that think that 30 below means you're gonna die.
I know, right? I think it's so funny, right? I think
Right,
it's hilarious.
Sandy? Sandy knows.
I know. I love it. I have no fear. I lived there for so long. So Wendy, I want to shout out to you because I know you haven't been on the calls lately, but you've been still, voyeuring and hovering, and you did take the habits finder. And I don't know your scores yet, but I want to just say bravo to you for doing it. Taking the next leap inside of here is having the courage to do that. It's big. So hopefully we can connect about that and you can get on the debrief. The debrief is the explanation of the results. And then if you want to dive deeper, we started the 4-week, a group of us started the 4-week last.
I did it last week. I was on his debrief.
Okay. And then the next class starts the 30th if you guys want to do the 4-week series. But anyway, so congratulations on that. Were your scores shocking or were they you
No,
did
I was at 71. I was good.
you were good. Okay. Well, and
I don't remember the specifics, but I mean, I've done a lot of these
Yeah,
things through corporate American.
yeah. Well, if you want to dig
Yeah.
deeper, I think it's free. So do it before it gets monetized, y'all, and you can do the courses repeatedly. So we don't want to, it's nice. It's really worth thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars we would pay for that, right? So take advantage of it. Okay, so we got, let's talk about wins of the week. We have the health habit finder. Any takeaways from the habit finder? I would love to hear what your takeaways are, what you're liking and what's working from the challenge. They do want feedback, so let us know because this is the first rodeo on this digital format. So feedback is good. Email, text me, tell me whatever behind the scenes, but let me know what you're benefiting or what you think could be better. And they are keeping track of your points. I got an updated roster today. I have not been keeping track of anyone's points. I've been doing my scores, but I haven't been looking at that at all. So if you're looking, who's looking at the leaderboard? I think Mary was looking at the leaderboard. Deb has been, I think Sharon's pretty high. So I'm hoping, Sharon, that you can open the new roster and help me figure out on our team, like who's winning on our team. If you could help me, that'd be great. I sent you the new roster, but we got players, ladies. We got players, and apparently people are winning like 500, 200, 100 bucks. So that's a nice thing. So I haven't been looking there, but that's happening. And then there's going to be a celebration on February 16th, some sort of grand celebration and whatever thing. I don't know. So stay tuned on that. Yes, Sandy.
Well, I wanted to share my win because I need to leave soon. We're going to get Steve's biopsy
Yes.
result.
Okay.
So I finally got into a win call at 9 o'clock one night or 8 o'clock one night. I finally got into one after all the trying. So now I know I can do it. I have been doing my steps every day, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. This week I'm on 6,000.
Yes.
I have something wrong with my shoulder where I cannot move my shoulder. I had an injection on Monday and I haven't slept for 3 days. So I'm sorry, I'm a wreck. And now I got a cough. But I have forced myself to walk, even though I'm not doing much else. The positive for me is I didn't let the painful shoulder stop me from walking. Now you probably laugh. Why would your shoulder hurt when you walk? Every step I take is in pain in my shoulder, but I made myself do it anyway. So even though I'm not doing much else, I'm proud of myself for that.
Wow, I pray that you'll get that taken care of. That is not fun.
Well, I had an injection, but it didn't do anything. In fact, it made it worse. So I just called the clinic this morning. They said sometimes there's a reaction to prednisone that, forgot the term, but it makes it worse for a couple days and then it kicks in. So that's where I'm at. I'm in the horrible, whatever happened wrong. And I have an appointment to go back on Monday and have it evaluated again.
And you have some stress with Steve and everything that's going on there too, right?
Yeah.
And with the whole diagnosis and the things that are happening with the treatments and everything, right?
Just a little.
Yeah.
I mean, he just had his biopsy, so we're going for the results. So now we'll find out next steps, which is always good, not to be in limbo.
So always remember, everybody, we can't separate our brain from our body. And so when we're under stress, pains will show up in our body, right? So the more you breathe, the better it will be. All right. Stay calm. And it absolutely is correlated, right? Emotional stuff, right? Pains, it all goes together.
Well, the pain is actually a physical thing. It's called calcific tendonitis.
Yeah.
And I've had it before.
Yeah.
And then, 3 years ago when I had it, the injection was magic. I had the injection an hour later, I could move again. Well, this time I can't trust myself. It's really embarrassing.
Yes, stress never makes pain going away easier, right, Tanya? Miss
Yeah.
Migraine Lady. Who else
Yeah.
has to leave early today? I know Kathy's gonna be late, but anybody else have to leave early? Keep Margot in your prayers, guys. Margot's been in the hospital. Her whole family had COVID, then she got it, and then she's been having some esophageal stuff go on, so tests and
Mhm.
things. So, yeah, just keep her in your thoughts and mind, please. She'll be back.
Well, I need to go, but thank you.
Yep.
I had to pop in and share
Yep.
it with you.
I'm glad. We love you. Hugs, right? And say
Thank
hi
you.
to Steve. You guys keep your wits about you and do the next right thing each moment, right? Next
Oh,
choice, right?
okay.
All
Yep.
right, love you. All right, anybody else have to go soon here? No? Okay, Yvonne, you had your hand up quick. What was,
I had my hand up for the habits finder.
yeah, tell us what you got. What's your win, girl?
My win was that I had no idea that I lived in the fantasy instead of living in the reality. And the fantasy was that after I lose weight or after I do this, everything in life would be fine. And I had no idea that that was even on the chart, but it made sense because when previous losing weight, when I would get close, I wasn't getting closer to the fantasy. I was losing weight, but the fantasy wasn't
Winning.
connected to it. So
Mhm.
then it was like, instead of saying, well, you know, you're losing the weight, I was looking at, well, you failed.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I had no idea
Yeah.
that that was even there.
I know.
How huge is that, you
That
guys?
is very, that's good.
Double high fives. Woo! That's everything. The lid off, right? That was a lid off moment. That moment will change your life. And you girls, we're gonna get so much out of this 4-week class. It's gonna blow our freaking minds. We're not gonna even know. Like it's, you know what I mean?
So I would say anybody who has not done the habit finder, no matter what your total score, is when he starts to break it down
Mm-hmm.
and you say, holy moly.
I
The
know.
breakdown. Yeah, the breakdown is profound. Yeah, yeah. Wendy, did you go to the breakdown and you didn't have any new news, right? It was all old news for you, right?
No, the fantasy part was all new news.
Yeah, I was asking Wendy, is she
Oh,
done
I'm
it?
sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. That was all new news. So congratulations, by the way. Wendy, did you have any breakdown, like aha moments in the breakdown of
You
it?
know, honestly, for me, I was having a hard time understanding like the whole thing, kind of.
Sure.
It wasn't
Did you know
clicking.
you can pull up your scores on your computer or your phone and then toggle back and forth between the green
Yeah,
and the
I
red?
was, and I think maybe it was my mindset that night. I was just kind of listening, and I
Oh,
was,
okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
But it
Got it.
was a lot though.
It was.
Yeah,
It was.
oh
Was
yeah,
a,
it is a lot. It is a lot.
yeah.
Sarah was good last night, though. She was very good, and I was cheering for you, Sarah.
I was scared crazy.
She got put on the spot. She put herself on the
I put
on the
myself
spot.
on the
Did.
spot.
Yes, she did. I was saying a prayer for you. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. But yeah, because all of us learn from that. We
Sarah
learn from,
was being so coachable, wasn't she?
yeah, yeah, and she was excellent. And yeah, it is scary. And then your mind's racing to answer what they're saying. But yes, it's I understand Wendy too, because I don't understand half of what he's talking about. But the one point that I do, or Sarah brought a point, that you grasp those. That's all you can do. Grab three
Yes.
things. And that he's been
Yeah.
doing it for what, 20, 30 years?
Right. Yeah.
This is our second time, third time.
Right.
We got one or two. But
Right.
Sarah was terrific last night. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Good. Very good. Well, let's share some more wins and learns. Did you have anything you learned? Like, did you have a skin knee? Did you learn something from it? Let's hear some learns. How about you, Deb? I know you weren't here last week. Any wins and learns you want to share, or Mary? Mary's got off mute. Do you want to be next, Mary?
Sure. Yeah, for me, it's just going back to that habits finder. And yes, a lot of it is hard to understand, but just like Betty said, it's that one thing, because I initially got my score and went, oh, woot, I'm a 73. Look at me. And I did think, oh, it's because I've been working on this for 6 years. But then I found out that fantastical, just like Sarah, is right where I'm tripped up. And that's where I am so, hey, I lost 60 pounds, but I gained back 10 over 5 years. And now I can't get back to no, I can't. I am now,
Mhm.
but I wasn't choosing to get back to my ultimate. And it was because, again, I think I felt a little disillusioned thinking I'd arrived, but everything wasn't perfect. And
Mhm.
then it was my other little score that also pushed
It
me over.
ruined
And
your
so
fantasy.
yeah, and I found out I was either green right down the middle, I was great, or I was insane over on that fantastical, that bumped me, or then I consider myself the most joyful, optimistic, faith God girl. Guess what? My red was discouraged because if I don't have all or nothing, then I've been speaking bad to myself and
Oh,
all of those things. So if you really dig in and find out, okay, I was a 73, but what kept me from being 100? Woo, there is learning in there. Um, because I wasn't yellow. I was either green down the middle or I was red
Red.
in a couple things. And that's what's really teaching me. And like Betty, when you said, oh, I'm struggling with the scale on on the Thursday night, the deep dive, Dave talked about when I get on the scale, because I'm also at this point, I can tend to lose weight slower because I'm close to goal again. And so, me, I get on the scale and wait a minute. I expected that pound there. I expected that half a pound. But then Dave kind of said, put that joy back in the journey. Start going, stop going, oh, I failed. I didn't
Right?
get there.
uh,
Start putting that joy back in the journey and start saying, I wonder if I tweaked this. I wonder if tomorrow I changed that. And then he says, start thinking, what did you really do? Did you measure? Did you do all the things? And then go, tomorrow I think I will. And then he says it puts the fun and the anticipation rather than the drudgery. And by the way, Betty, too, I see you shaking your head. Good job today on the share this morning.
oh,
You did awesome. So, just give it a chance and really open your mind and find out where you can learn. Because right now, I'm finally back in my safe zone. And now I
good.
look forward to seeing where I can go. And, it's going to take what it takes. And it's that positive self talk. And if you don't make 7 pounds next week, you're going to do it when your body wants to. Talk nice to yourself and just go from there.
Yeah. And the reason I picked that number is because since the challenge has come on, I've put 5 pounds on. And that's what, and so it's like,
Oh,
okay, this
gotcha.
is adios. This is going. But the difference today is every day this week, it's like, oh, is this all I get? What can I have with what can I, what won't count? What won't? And today it's like, isn't this nice? This will do me. This will fill me. I can eat this and I can be fulfilled. And so I've had 3 fuelings today. And I'm just as happy. See, look at how happy I am. Just as happy as a little clam because it is enough. And I survived a whole year without dying of starvation. So I can do it again. It's just, you start thinking, well, I 3 bites, that's all. Well, yeah, if you go, hum, 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 it's
Pity
3
party. Yeah.
bites. No, no more. I choose
No,
not
yeah.
to do that.
Yeah,
So
it is 3 bites. If you eat like my husband, it's 1 bite,
the whole thing, yes,
right?
yes. Well, yeah,
No.
exactly. So,
Yeah. Let's
and
stop. Let's challenge. Let's savor. Let's taste. Let's, right?
yes, and do that
Mhm,
and take your
mhm.
time and
Let's
enjoy it.
chew. Good job, Betty. Good job. So
Well,
you had some wins and learns, and
yes,
you've
I did.
learned.
I have really learned a lot. I
Yeah.
really have.
Yeah.
So
And Deb, what about you, girl? You were was it sick or busy last week? No, she can't share because of your voice too. Okay, her voice. So okay, Tanya, Kathy, how long you on? You need to go with your hubby? And I'm hoping Roxy can chime in because she actually was the only person who had Dr. Anderson on live. I got some recording.
No,
What,
I'm
Kathy, what's
actually, I'm here now. We got home, so I'm home.
Oh, okay.
I
So
can be
you,
on till 1 now.
okay, how about you, Tanya? I know you're working today. You got a win or a learn, some skin knees we can learn from?
I have a few wins actually.
Number one, she
I
showed up
have,
on Sunday for a win call. Woo!
yes, I did show up on Sunday for a win call, and I'm here today, which I haven't been on a Wednesday call. I think I might have caught one before. Um, but I have successfully not just drank my 64 ounces, but yesterday I toppled over 100 ounces.
Woo!
Um, and bypass the steps by thousands every day. Um,
Yeah,
but the big thing is all of the new vegetables that I have tried that uh, I would have never ever eaten in my lifetime before. Um, have now entered my lean and green meals. And I will say that I have no complaints whatsoever. Um, I have had every kind of pepper and um, avocados and zucchini and cucumbers and you name it. And I have started adding it to my lean and green meals. So that is huge for me because I'm not a vegetable eater at all.
oh, cancel, elephant. You are a vegetable. You are learning to be a vegetable eater, and you are
Yes.
going to be, you are a vegetable eater, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Elephant, right?
yes,
Cancel. You are
Yes.
getting better at you
I'm
started
getting
out
better
great.
at being a vegetable eater.
Yeah, in the past you have not been a very you haven't had a great variety, so now you are. So that's great. And are you using the app for expanding your horizons, or how did this come about?
No, I was illiterate to the app until the win call the other night, and boy, I learned so much from that call.
Just
I
on
will
Monday?
now be diving into that app and utilizing it way more now that I know what it's all about and where you can find things and how you can utilize it and all of the recipes that are on it and whatnot because I had no idea whatsoever.
Oh,
No, I was to the point of being tired of salad all of the time.
oh,
And
sure.
so I just decided it was time to take a leap. And so I just went to the vegetable section and started picking things out and said, "Here, this is what we're gonna do," and I went for it.
That is huge. Is it
For me, it
not, you
is.
guys? Isn't that huge?
Awesome.
That is.
Wow, that's monumental, Tanya. That is fantastic. And Monday night was brilliant because I loved it. They had old dogs teaching everyone new tricks. They had the older couple on showing
Hmm.
how to do the app because it's harder for, our people that are a little older,
Hmm.
including myself. And we have to learn these things, but it really is stupid amazing, and it's totally different than that old Habits of Health app. So definitely watch the recording, get in there, pause it, play with it. The only way to know is to just get it on your phone, Betty. I know you probably have a smartphone, I know, but it's pushing your buttons. But
It's smarter than me. That's all I
yeah.
know. But
Does
so-
anybody, the recipe section is amazing. You can categorize those guys, you can heart them and keep them. It's amazing. I don't know how this works, but if anyone wants to share apparently you can share your weight or your habit stuff with me.
Yep.
And I don't know how this works, but if you're willing to share it with me, I'm game to figure it out with you. That'd be awesome. If you want to try that aspect. And the other part I loved is that it's got all the programs and guides in there as well. So the conversion guides, I know someone was trying to convert a recipe, from to help from one thing to healthy. So all the guides, so play around in there. All the guides are in there and all that. It's come a long way, and tracking mechanisms are much better. So I don't tend to use trackable. I have not tended to be a digital tracker. I'm more of a paper tracker, but the bells and whistles are amazing. So I'm glad to hear that made a difference for you. So that's awesome. And you've been tracking your points on the challenge and everything too. So that's fabulous. What was I gonna say? I think we're gonna come up with we got some real players. I didn't realize how many points we're accumulating now when I just looked at this. So we got some real players going on here. So I think we might even have some cash winners. I think Mary, you just signed up for the premier
Yep.
one.
Yes. Yeah. Yesterday I got an email that said, "Hey, you're in the top 150." Who knew? And I was going to do it from the beginning, and I don't see and so then I've been trying to look, but I really can't tell where I am. But
Yeah,
then it was like, "This is your last chance to join." And it was like, "Well, fine." And so I
it's
don't know
got
where I am, but I must
apparently
be.
they're keeping track of categories for water, steps, webinars, and then we have total points. So I don't know how they're awarding the prizes, but
Yeah.
Marisol is killing it. Mary, you and Marisol are neck and neck. It looks like Sharon is actually total points is winning.
I
So
was gonna, I was gonna say I could tell at one point when I tried to look that Sharon was like 1. She was like hovering at 2 or 3, and then she went to 1.
really?
Yeah.
At one
Yeah.
from one day when I saw it, and I saw Amy, you were like at 77. Tanya was like 82. So I mean, I'm seeing teammates' name on those scores when I'm trying to scroll, trying to find my own.
But where do you find it at?
They
If
sent
you
us a new leadership board.
The leadership board?
At the bottom in the corner, on the right-hand corner, you'll see your profile picture, teeny tiny. It's a little circle.
Okay.
Click on yourself there, click on your photo, and then it'll take you to leaderboard. And then if you click on leaderboard, then you can scroll through literally, what was it, 80 some pages of members.
Oh
Wow.
my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna
No.
have to find it. I don't know what I did with my phone.
But yeah, it's kind of interesting, but it is what it is. That's not why we do it, but
No,
yeah, it
no.
definitely puts your competitive spirit in there to kind of have some fun. And Tanya, new vegetable, if you've not tried it, roasted radishes. I kid you
Yes,
not.
I got your message on that. I have
Yep.
not done that yet, but I did get your message on that.
And if you have an air fryer, I mean,
I do.
they're gonna be good in the oven, but seriously, you put them in the air fryer, spritz them with olive oil and salt, and then keep rolling those suckers and they're gonna get really wrinkly. They're gonna get nice and toasty brown if you've got the air fryer. That's the best way. They're gonna be kind of wet, but all reddish tartness gone. They're gonna look and taste like new baby potatoes, except a little waterier, but they are great. When my husband has
I
his
agree.
potatoes, if I have roasted radishes, and he's even tried them and said, "Oh, they're not bad," and he would never look at them, but he goes, "Nah, I want my potatoes," but they're a great substitute for us.
Good.
Yeah, my husband
Sure.
loves roasted radishes too.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to try that. I am
Yeah.
going to try that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Mary. And thanks for sharing about the leaderboard. I've been having so much trouble with my team roster and keeping up with everybody and just all the back end stuff. I haven't even looked at that. So thank you for the update, Mary, and sharing because I haven't been able to haven't been able to do it. So I'm glad to know that I was at 1.77. I've fallen off the wagon. I forget to do my scores, but I do show you guys are killing it. You ladies are doing awesome.
It's just fun to see each other's names on there because, if it's not us, it's somebody else from our team and we're together.
Yeah, absolutely. And every time we go to anytime, it makes our contribution matter, right? And it helps us. And next time, if I have myself together with my gumption around all of this and my understanding around all of it, I think we'll do better as a team because this time I was still just trying to learn all the details. So I think we'll be able to do more team effort kind of thing. Um,
Yeah.
I think that'll be really fun. I really like this format. Do you guys like the format with the videos every day and instead of
Yeah,
going?
it's easy. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't got onto the videos, but it is so nice to be able to every day that I can put a win, I can put a steps, and I can put my water in. And it's like, okay, if that's all I can do, that's it. And then once in a while, I get a Dave in there. Ooh, that's a biggie, and it feels good to do that because I am not competitive. And so when
Well, just know
everyone,
your points are counting for our team too.
yeah,
So
see,
thank
and
you.
that's it. If it was for me, it's like, oh, okay, but it's for you guys. So every night,
Yeah,
about 11:30 at night, I sign up for them and put them in because it's for you. It's for
I
you.
appreciate that. Looks like Sharon's in the lead, and then Marisol and Mary are totally neck and neck. And then after
Good.
that, it looks like, oh, who would be next? Tanya. Looks like Tanya, you're like third.
Good girl. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
believe
I
it
did
or
not upgrade to premium. I guess you had to do that for prizes,
well, for money prizes, I think so.
and I wouldn't be. Been hit and miss. I mean, I've tried to do something every day, but
Yeah, Gail, ironically enough, is doing great. Gail, Dark Horse Gail, and then Linda is Sharon's friend. That's kind of yeah. So this is kind of fun to see how things are stacking up here. So we'll be
Remembering to put in your points is, you know, does
yeah.
everybody get a text reminder?
yeah, you get a text reminder.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that's huge, just remembering to put in your points.
just remembering, in which
Well,
I
it might be something to remember. Then we have a like a tag team next time that we can. I can be in contact with someone can be in contact with me. Did you put your points in, say at
yeah
9 o'clock or something, or 8 o'clock at a time?
yeah yeah.
And
Do you
just,
like do you like the little that's a great idea. We can do the buddy system, right? Or we
yeah,
can yeah, we can do the buddy system. Um you should get a text reminder too, Betty, but does
I
everybody
did one time, only once, but I don't need it. I
okay.
put in every time, but yeah.
Do you guys like the little do you like the videos, the daily quizzes? I love the little recipe things they put in there. Is there anything you think that could be better?
I've got to keep trying. I have to keep trying because I don't always get on, or I get
Okay.
discouraged and I,
Okay. How about you, Kathy? I want you to share. What's your win and your learn?
Well, like I said, I've been trying to do something every day. With my schedule, it's kind of crazy, but I feel like it's helped me, stay on track, because
Mhm.
with everything going on, I've been a little scattered. I've loved Thursday night with Dave, and I, like Mary, I was in the 70s too, but my self-worth was really low. And that was like high risk for unconditional. And I remember what he said. He said, you believe you're only valuable when you eat healthy, exercise, and lose weight. And that's kind of what I'm, like I, and then I want to be a perfectionist. That's the other thing that
yes.
I was high in, or was a risk. So that was eye opening. So I'm anxious, to hear what he has to say for tomorrow night. But trying to get that in my mindset that I don't have to be a perfectionist, and
Mhm.
I'm still doing good, even though I might, falter once in a while. But so those were it was very eye opening to see that when I took the test.
It's such a blessing.
Yeah.
It really is. It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, a blessing and a curse, exactly.
It's like really, and Sharon, what about you? You haven't had a chance to share yet. So thank you very, Kathy. You've been dealing with so much too. So I'm glad it was a blessing to you, and I'm glad
Yeah.
you went forward with the 12-week too, especially now that you're retired and now,
Right.
life is so precarious with your husband, and yeah, I'm glad. Good for you. Keep yourself first, girl.
Thank you.
Sharon, what about you? Wins and learns. I know, other than killing the points and leading your own little team, she's got a gaggle of her high school and church friends, and I don't even. I can't. We spent almost an hour talking about her friends on the team.
There, and it's fun to see them engaged, and just learning little bitty habits. I mean, it's, encouraging that, people are open, open and curious about learning something new. So, and that's been, as you know, my age group is probably, we're in that, that trying to learn the technology. And so
And
it's
people that are
exciting,
not on Facebook, right?
and art on Facebook. And so, but yeah, I was, pretty much like everybody else in fantasy, thinking I perfection, and but just looked at, really when he said how unmet expectations, how daily you can have unmet expectations and put you into, frustration, or, just anxiety, just something, it's so easy to, I guess, put it so high, put a target on it.
That
Or
you're
I'm sorry.
constantly feeling like a failure when you're not.
Yeah,
You're putting your
you're
bar up
constantly
here.
feeling in your, if you put a concrete, a date to it, that's, you know, and you're putting yourself in failure almost every day if you're, so learning that, yeah, I've had a lot of unmet expectations, and that causes frustration. So I think that's one of my biggest learns.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. I'm just, I think those aha moments we hang on to them, write them down, journal them. If you're not a journaler, make sure it's in your life book or somewhere. And I've because if we just keep that in mind, I think it is going to make it's going to make a really big lasting impact, Sharon. Don't you?
Yeah. Well, and I even thought, I think about unmet expectations, or you can put that on to your friends or your spouse, or,
Yep. Yep.
and so, you know, obviously probably your expectations would not be the same as their expectations. And,
Yeah.
you're putting
Yep.
a lot of on someone else too. And that's just creating more frustration or for yourself. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess I'm saying focus on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, focus on your own self, not other expectations on other people.
No,
So
focus on your
I,
own self.
right, exactly. Right. Don't put expectations on other people. One of my big aha moments was how long I was resistant to being resistant to learning about my walls of resistance. And so I posted about that today because I knew about this test 9 months ago, you guys, and I've been resistant to taking it. That's how that's how thick my
Wow.
walls are. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like those resistance walls were so thick, and my and I actually took the wrong test. I took the larger version of the test versus the Habits of Health version, which is what was created just for Optavia. I've taken both, but I realized just how deep my resistance went to going to the next level and how painful it is in my head because I am such a fantastical, uncoachable, right, in my thinking, obligation, obligatory, like all this stuff goes on in here that's just such old news, right? Broken records. And I hurt myself thinking lots of times and then therefore can't make decisions. So, but it was so painfully obvious to me. And I journaled it all, right? And I wrote it all down. It was so painful when I did a little mind map of my highest risk ones. I don't know if you guys have ever done this before, but a little mind map of I shared this on the post um of my high risk ones, and I thought, wow, I was so emotional because I had done so much work on myself, and like you, Mary, I've changed so much and I've done so much work, and how could there still be so much more left, right? Does anyone felt like that?
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
just me.
Yes.
How could I have this much work to do? So Friday after our Thursday night, I was in tears half the day because I kept thinking, oh, I don't want to do that work and blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to deal with this, you know?
Yeah.
And I really I was resistant to the resistance again, even though I was resistant to the truth. And I thought, this is ridiculous. I'm surrendering. I'm doing the thing because my big takeaway was in the areas that I am green, like when asked my question that first night, in the areas that I'm green, like I feel that. I know that. That is authentic and that is like totally aligned. And those other areas, just I get so angry and frustrated and upset. And I think, okay, well, so you know what I'm saying? Like I clearly get the difference. So now I know how to feel in the middle. Whereas before, I don't think I knew how to feel authentically in the middle aligned because I probably was, maybe 5 years ago, I was probably out there on all the areas, quite frankly. I was such a mental mess, but do you know what I mean? So now I feel like the win is I really get the authentic parts of me, and I'm gonna own those, and I'm gonna bring the other ones in, and we're just gonna integrate them all. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm in this authenticity integration process, and that's how I'm looking at it. I'm just not done integrating yet.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and Dave is, I don't know how to put what he is, but he just, he doesn't point fingers at anybody, I want to say, but he's just so, what's the word to use? Anybody, can come up with a
Oh,
word?
he's so authentic and
Okay,
warm and aligned and
yes,
And accepting. He's,
yeah,
accepting.
like
Yes.
yeah.
yeah, I feel like he's fully green, like in the
But
middle.
he wasn't always green.
No,
No,
No.
and
No,
he admitted that.
no.
he's had to work. I mean, he said that he's had to work on him, put this together because of himself, really,
Yeah.
from what
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
So,
I really identified with him being like his wife is always thinking, oh no, here we go again, because he's either in doom or gloom or he's in creation. Let's make it happen. Let's do it. We can figure it out. We'll find a way. We'll do. That's me. Like
Yeah.
I was really gravid. I was
Mhm.
but when he
I
when he talks about, millimeters, just think throughout the day, like, oh, well, that was a millimeter.
yeah.
I just did a millimeter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, wasn't something big, but it was just a millimeter.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
try to focus on, oh, well,
that,
that was a millimeter.
yeah.
That
Mhm.
was a win.
Yeah. And also one thing that Kate said was what she had told me is you have all of these things and we're looking at them and it's like, oh gosh, I'm in the red here, I'm in the red here, I'm in all, it's clear on the other side, but I have the green, but okay, I'm working on the procrastination. She said, put it in God's box. The other things, put them up in God's box.
Yeah.
And then they're not gone. God will take care of them, so you don't have to worry about them.
For
He'll
now.
give them back to you when you're ready. And
Yep.
then you can do your millimeter here,
Yeah.
without I have to do 51 millimeters, that made a big difference. This whole thing has been so
Yeah.
wonderful. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Well, we're just gonna unroll this together, guys, and
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how we roll down and roll and share. And then the thing is too, sharing it with friends and family. That test, they don't have to be on any plan or buy anything. Just how many people could benefit from this.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah.
So feel free to share, and I'll help them get them into the right debrief and whatever. But that this stuff is life altering. It really is. So I'm glad to be on this road with all of you doing it together. So thank you so much. And next week I will share more. We got a recording. They had a big Dr. Anderson did a big reveal weekend. I didn't get the registered properly. Sharon didn't get registered properly. Roxy was the only one that was. So I'm recording her recordings right now so that I can share them, pieces of them with you. So we're in the process of recording her recording. So because I missed the boat, but Dr. Anderson's got a new book coming out. They're going to do some new things with the company in terms of shifting to help the people that are falling off the Titanic of GLP-1. So there's going to be new things there. So I'll try to pull snippets and share with you because whatever comes out of his mouth is really, really, really amazing. So I'll pick some highlights and share them next week with you. So good stuff coming. So keep thinking about saving those people around you. Keep throwing the life preservers. Thanks so much for coming, Deb. And we're at 1, so we got to go. But I love you. I'll see you tomorrow night. And
Yes.
if not, I will talk to you next week.
And Sunday, keep those. The Sunday reminder is good.
Sunday, yeah, this Sunday I had scheduled 4 of them, but if you guys want to do, I can open a room up if anyone wants to keep on a Sunday. I can open a room up anytime if you want, but I scheduled 1 more of them, so you guys just gotta let me know. Anybody would come on a Sunday? Would you guys like Sunday?
Yeah, yeah.
Does
There's a lot of times I'm
12:30
open.
12:30 better?
12:30 make a difference? I run into getting out of church
Yeah.
and then I'm in the car and I'm with my husband and it's super awkward.
12 is better?
12:30, yeah,
12:30?
12:30 makes a big difference for me. I don't know about anybody else.
That would be
That's
better.
fine.
Yeah.
That would be fine with me.
Okay, I'll let Martha know too, because Martha wanted to come. She liked that as well. So, okay, I'll make some for 12:30 and then I'll pop it open and whoever wants to get some love and hugs and support can show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this Sunday, 12:30?
Yeah, I'll change it to 12:30.
Okay.
All right. Take care. Love you guys. Love you. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.